Well, what I have here today is what's called the v911 Pro, sold by WL Toys. I've never been tempted to make a video before, but now I am completely tempted to make this video, which I am currently doing. First, to start off with, this helicopter did fly quite well for as little as it is, and it comes in this packaging, at least here in the United States. It comes in this little styrofoam box. There's nothing else is included. No battery, no remote control, nothing. So you have to buy the extra battery pack, and it comes with a nice little charger here. Get the one that's recommended. 4 little batteries here, and it takes just about a little over an hour to charge it all. And it does seem to be a smart charger because each one of these lights turns off independently as the batteries turn off. That being said, this was a very nice flying helicopter for, I don't know, I probably got about 2 hours of flight time in it. The very first problem I had was the weight, and this guy seems to have disappeared. Let me get a pointer here. You can see there's a weight up here. Now on this one here, during mid-flight, it flew out. So if you get one of these little jokers, you probably want to add some super glue or something to this weight. What I did is I cut up a tire weight, this little sticky weight, and stuck it in there, and then slowly revved it up until I thought the balance was good, and then wrapped a piece of tape around it. And as you already noticed, there's a blade missing. Less than 3 hours of flight time. It was a cold day, and I admit that, and maybe that had to make the blade a little bit brittle, but it broke off. And they do not send a spare replacement blade, so you're kind of stuck with what you got. You got a broken toy. But it did fly nice, I'll give it that. The only thing I would say differently is when the battery is installed, it hangs out the back like so, and it seems to make it tail heavy. What I found is to remove the canopy and place this top mount right here onto the bottom down here. This canopy flops up and down, but it creates a better center of gravity. I'm highly disappointed. You would think, being a little helicopter with a lot less mass, this thing should last a good while, but it doesn't. And I was using my v913 remote control that came off this bigger guy here, which they claim is like 27 inches. And this thing is, the v913 has taken a beating, and as you can see here by the strikes, the big huge dent here, I mean, it has taken a beating. It's been one tough bird, and I haven't even had to replace one blade on it yet. And you can see that I've hit some shit. You know, it's tough. That's a good helicopter right there. It's bigger, but it's a better helicopter. The only thing I would do with the v913 is I definitely add a stiffer anti-tail strike device. The plastic one they supplied or installed is shit. But that being said, I'm quite happy with the v913, but not with this little guy. I thought for indoor flying, because it's not always sunny, I could fly something inside and have a good time. But it is very cheaply made, at least the main propeller. I don't know maybe it's not flexible enough, I don't know. And they don't supply a spare, so beware if you decide to buy this thing. But however, if you are an expert pilot, I would consider myself a novice pilot, this would probably be a pretty good aircraft. It does, when I was flying it, it does land quite nicely, nice and smooth. It does take off quite smooth, a little bit of trimming, and it's very nice once the weight is installed properly. Now, if you do get this, like if I haven't just said it before, be sure to put a little super glue where these weights are, help hold them in place, because mine ejected in mid-flight and caused a horrible crash. It separated these little guys here and caused a horrible, horrible malfunction. Oh, there's one other thing. This tail strike device here, it used to slide all the way up and down freely. I don't think that's supposed to be that way. So what I did is I put a little dab of super glue on it as well to help hold it in place. So you may want to do that as well. That helps protect the tail rotor from a hard tail strike. But anyway, WL Toys, you need some more revision in your, at least in your blade. Now I am quite amazed. I'm gonna try and take this apart in one hand. Quite amazed, very amazed how small those little servos are. I mean, they're so small they have to stick the motors through that PC board. I mean, that is incredibly small. And then they run the wires. They're able to somehow run the wires through that tail boom. It is totally hidden inside there. I mean, it is absolutely amazing, the technology that they can do. Absolutely amazing. I mean, you don't see them. That tail boom is actually hollow. And it's so small. My fat fingers don't do it justice, but it is incredibly small. It was a very nice flying aircraft. Again, I'm disappointed. So buyers beware if you decide to buy this thing.